Okay, I guess we are live right now. If you are able to see us and if you are able to hear us clearly, go ahead and leave a comment for us. I'm really excited to have with me Mustafa. He's from AWS, and AWS is launching a new AWS Cloud Club program, and we are here to discuss about that specific program. Mustafa, welcome to the live stream.
Hello. Thank you for having me here, Ranga. And thank you for giving me the time and space to speak about it. So, I guess you can start my slide so that I can introduce as well as present.
Sure. I'll get to our slides. Okay, here we go. These are our slides. Okay, I guess everybody's able to see
Just
your slides, I guess, Mustafa.
okay. Yes, it looks good. So, yes, so that is me, and welcome to the cloud. We at AWS, my team is the academic advocacy team, and I am an AWS student advocate. I'm Mustafa Saifee, and I have come here to talk about cloud clubs. So this is my team. At Academic Advocacy, we are five people. We have Jen Looper, she is head of Academic Advocacy. We have Tracy Van, she is the community manager who will manage all the community activities. We have Nayang One, she is the program manager and she manages the whole program. There's me and Stephen. We both are the developer advocate who will be working on the technical aspect of this whole program. So, just to give an idea of what my team does and what academic advocacy. So, academic advocacy has a simple focus. We focus on three things: content, community, and events. And all these three parameters completely focused on students. So, let's start with content. We make sure if you see content out in the world on the internet, you see that all the content is made for developers and experienced people. Although there is for students, but it is very less in ratio. So we at Academic Advocacy try to bring out content and bring it to the students that is student focused. So that it is easier for the students to learn from all this pool of resources. We are all about community. So whenever you attend a lot of conferences and a lot of community events, you might also be aware about community days AWS has. So most of the community events are focused on people who are very experienced in the industry. As a student, you might be hesitant to go to these events. You might think that if I attend this event, then I don't know how much can I absorb, how much can I learn from this. So that is one question and one confusion everyone always has. So that's why we are going to bring community. We are going to bring community to you. We are going to create a community that is very close to students. And then comes the events. A lot of times you attend events, you watch our event, but the absorption from that event is hardly 1 hour. So you think that you gave so much time of yours in a day, but the things that you learned was very less because the setting of the event was not as per a student's setting. So that's why that is one thing we are going to focus on. So let's go. We'll talk about Cloud Clubs. Cloud Clubs is an initiative that is led by the students and driven by the students. So that is the initiative that we have been working on. These will be user groups, just like there are AWS UGs. These will be AWS student UGs, where the students will be the one driving these clubs, and the audience will also be students. So, how to start a cloud club? That will be the beginning. So, to start a cloud club, the first requirement is that you have to become a cloud captain. So, once you become an AWS cloud captain, you can start and lead a cloud club. So, how to become a captain? That is the first question. So, the requirements are that you have to first be enrolled in a college or university or express that you are in a course where you are learning. So, you have to be someone who is from the learning background because sometimes a lot of students and people are not enrolled in a college or university. They might be in open universities, they might be in community colleges. So, that is something you can specify and clarify that this is where I study. Second criteria is age strictly between 18 to 28. So if you're above 18 and you're below 28, then this program is perfectly set for you. Apart from that, we are looking for individuals who are very enthusiastic about peer to peer learning. What is peer to peer learning? So let's say that you are in a college and you conduct an event. All the students that attend your event are your peers. So if you're interested in upskilling them as well as learning from them, so peer to peer learning is just not you teaching everyone, it's also learning from them. There might be students, there might be individuals who know more than you. So you give them a platform, you give them a chance to host workshops and conduct events so that you can also learn from them. This is all for the local student community that you belong to. So if you're interested in that peer to peer learning experience, this is where you go. You're always curious about scaling up. Always scaling up is important, because if you decide that you have already scaled up a lot, then there is very little space to grow. So we're looking for people who are curious about scaling up, and we're also looking for people who are curious about perks and benefits. Now perks is something that is very uh, is up for discussion every time when a new program starts. People think that we want perks, we want swags, we want bags, bottles. People expect a lot of things, mugs, pens. That is going to be there, and even you can buy that. And I know that materialistic things like these make people happy, that yes, I got a t-shirt, I can wear that t-shirt everywhere. But you have to think that these programs are made for your career. So what swags do you actually want? What you want is career swags, swags that will actually help your career, not just make you happy. So that is something we are going to include in this cloud club thing that we are going to introduce. And we are looking for people who are serious about building their career, and they want to grow their network. So moving on, what is the way of the cloud club? So once you become a captain, this is how your activities look like. You become a captain and you register your club with us. Now for example, you are from a university. For example, I am from SVKM University. So I register an AWS cloud club SVKM Dhule with us, our team. And then you start doing up activities and building your profile for that. So first what you do is register a club, and then the first swag that you get is your AWS credits. AWS credits is very important. It is very difficult to get, but you get AWS credits, a lot of credits, I mean, for free. You just register your club. With these AWS credits, you can experiment with the portal, you can learn about new services, you can host your project, you can conduct a workshop based on those credits, you can do a lot of things. So these credits are important for that. Then what you do is host your first event. Once you complete your first event, you will get a physical swag box. These swag box might contain all the swag things that are there in general swag boxes. So yes, host your first event and you get your swags. But from second event onwards, we are focusing on career swags. Once you host your second event, the first thing you get is your resume reviewed. Now, there are hundreds of videos available on YouTube that would help you on how to make a good resume. But that is just generic content that will help you to make a good resume. What we will be helping you in is making a resume which is very apt for what you want to achieve in life as a career perspective, and what are your qualities. And looking those things, keeping those things in mind, we can help you edit your resume, which can be a personalized experience for you. Because I remember when I was in college, I used to make so many resumes, but I never got a job. But once I met someone whom I told all of my desires of what I want to become as as my career, what I want to achieve, and that person helped me customize my resume. And as soon as that was done, I started getting job offers from a lot of companies. I was not even graduated at that time. Just changing your resume gets you jobs, so many jobs. So that is something will help you in getting the resume reviewed. Then we get you the opportunity to get the career coaching part. So for example, let's say that you are interested in becoming a developer. We already have developers on our team. So let's say you want to become a developer and want career guidance from a developer. Maybe I'm a developer advocate and you are not interested in learning from a developer advocate, but you want someone who is actively a developer and writing softwares. We can get you that person. That is career coaching that we can offer you. You are someone who is aiming to become a solution architect. We can get you a career coaching session with a solution architect. So yes, that is something that we can provide, a career coaching session to guide you what you want to become and how you can become that person. That comes after your third event. And the fourth event, that's one of my favorite, the skill builder credits. So skill builder is a platform where you can learn so many skills and so many AWS services. I have found like the biggest gold mine of learning when I learned about skill builder. And for that skill builder, you need credits, you need subscription, and you have to pay for it. But as a captain, you don't have to pay for it. We will get you those credits and you can learn everything from skill builder free. if a lot of people from your might have heard about the Cloud Quest program. Even the Cloud Quest is completely free for you if you have the AWS skill builder credits. That is after your fourth event. Now that doesn't stop. So just you did your four events and you can stop. But who's asking you to stop? You can continue. You can train the next captain. The next captain will be the one who will be leading after you. And once you tell us that yes, we have trained the next captain, these are the qualities, we'll ask the captain to apply to become a captain. And if the captain that you trained goes through our interviews and our whatever selection criteria we have, and if they clear all these things, then they will become the next captain and you will get AWS certification voucher. Now everyone knows that as a student, certifications are something very costly, and AWS certificates are quite in demand. So once you have the certification voucher, you don't have to pay for the voucher. All you have to do is use it for free. So you get your certification free of cost once you train the next captain. And then when the whole transfer from you to the next captain is complete of the club, you get the certificate of completion. So yes, that's the end journey. After that, you can graduate to another program that we have, but you will get to know about it once you become a captain. But let's say that you have worked really hard and you have done a lot of things, not just four events, maybe you did 12 events, maybe you did 15 events, and you are constantly impressing us with all your community and technology events. Then there is an opportunity. So there is one question that comes up always: how long can I be a captain? So the answer to that is you can be a captain only for 12 months. That's the limit. But so just so you know that this program is already going to be very exclusive. We are going to be making a very handful of captains. Once we do that, we will give chance to other captains who will be in line to become the next captains. So you have to graduate after 12 months, but sometimes you find candidates that are extremely well and they are very right for other captains as well. So we can extend your tenure as captains for the next session if your performance is exceptional. So that's how the way of club is. So I would take a screenshot of the screen or take you can apply now. And once you click there, you'll be redirected to a portal. There are some questions that are going to be asked to you about a lot of things about your community experience, your technical skills, your AWS skills, a lot of things. So you can give answers to that. For now, Cloud Clubs is only available for 10 regions, that is Australia, Bangladesh, France, India, Ireland, Mexico, Nigeria, Pakistan, United Kingdoms, and United States. So these are the only regions that are available right now. But don't worry, if you're not from one of these regions, while you fill the form, there is an option to show interest. That yes, you are from a region which is not from this list, but you are interested. And based on that interest, those will be the regions that will be releasing next. So yes, more regions are opening up soon. So please keep all the criteria that I showed over here in mind. Once you fulfill these criteria, you can go ahead and apply for AWS Cloud Clubs to become a captain. And once you become a captain, you have the activities lined up for you. So what else are we going to offer you? We are going to offer you student symposia. In student symposia, we'll provide you resource person from AWS or from AWS community. There are a lot of resource people that we have in touch. It can be AWS employees, AWS community builders, AWS heroes, UG leads, and a lot of people who can help you conduct an event for you. So maybe you arrange the whole event, and these people can help you and contribute to your event by becoming a speaker, a trainer, a mentor, anything that you want. So that is symposia, a complete day of upskilling. We'll provide you templates and guidelines for workshops, that through a learner library. We're creating a thing called learner library, and through this, first of all, you can upskill yourself. And whatever you learn from the learner library, you can shape. We give you that liberty that whatever you learn from that learner library, you can host your own workshop. You can conduct it in your college or your community. It is up to you how you want to conduct it. You can make your own design and do it. There'll be career coaching. So I already shared about that you will get mock interviews, you'll get resume reviews from us. There'll be dedicated Slack channels. These Slack channels is very important because we encourage that networking is very important, and if each of these captains network with each other, then it will be very good for your career development. You'll get all hands calls. In these all hands, you will get an opportunity to share what your opinion is, what do we expect, what more can we help you, and how can we assist you in all your initiatives. So that is very important. We're not just launching a program and leaving it up to the captains, but we'll be supporting you on every turn to make you as a captain and your club as a cloud club very successful. We'll provide you special training opportunities. What is special training opportunities? It's that if a group of captain decides that we want something, we want to learn something that is not that is just in a recorded video or something, we can provide you technical trainers or we can provide you SMEs so that you can clear your doubts. You can have some learning session from them, from AWS. And then we are going to introduce something called Cloud Club Camps. These will be short events, and this is something that is going to be launched for the captains, and the captains can leverage this to do their events. There will be cross club collaboration. So there might be a possibility that a single city has maybe 3 clubs and maybe 6 captains. So we are providing you that opportunity, that we encourage these collabs. We highly we want, that is what we want, that if a captain is hosting an event, I we will be encouraging other captains to come and involve themselves in those events so that they can support each other. So how do you stay updated about all of this? So all you have to do is scan this QR code or save this link. Just keep this always on your record and always keep an eye out there. On this portal, we keep on updating about future events and whatever we are going to host, when the applications open up, when the applications will close, and after we have closed it, we might also release when the next round of captains will be open for selection. So please keep an eye out on this page. To stay on this page, you can save this link that is on the screen as well as a QR code. For example, we are doing in-person events in Singapore. My whole team is going to do a lot of college related and student focused events in Singapore. So if someone from Singapore is watching this, I would highly encourage you to go to this website and see all the events that we are going to do in Singapore and register for them. So yes, that's it. And thank you. So I'm open for questions. Uh, I can't hear you, Ranga.
Are you able to hear me now?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Sorry, I was on mute. Okay, so Mustafa, I mean, wonderful presentation. First of all, yeah, great job. I think it's like reaching out to students is very, very important. And also having something specific to students is also very, very important, right? So, like,
Yes.
let's start with the fundamental question, right? Why should a student think of learning the cloud? Like a student, for example, has a lot of things going. Why should he dedicate time for cloud?
Yes. That's a good question. I graduated in 2021. Okay. And I have always had this question, that why should I not learn all the traditional subjects? Why should I not focus on Java and spend my time in learning cloud? What's there in the
Hmm,
cloud? So,
right,
well, no matter, I can say that with all my confidence, that no matter what domain you are from, what technology you're learning, cloud computing will always be there in some way or the other. Even if you're not from the technology background, you're already using cloud. Your life, your everything is heavily involved in cloud. So if you see a simple photo saving app, a simple photo, the technology of clicking photos is also saved in the cloud because you want to take backups. You do chats
right,
on WhatsApp, those chats are saved in the cloud. Even the message that you sent is not directly from a phone to phone, it goes through a cloud.
exactly,
Every internet website that you use is cloud. If you are a machine learning enthusiast, you think that your computer can do all the algorithms quickly. That might take 12 hours. Leverage cloud, it would be hardly 12 minutes. You might be a data scientist and you have maybe a 2 TB hard disk on your laptop, but the data you will have will be 1000 TBs. How will you manage that? You have cloud for that. So irrespective of what profession you go through, what technology you're focused on, no matter what kind of developer you are, you might think that I am already a professional. I am doing Java programming all day long. I don't use cloud at all. Well, the thing is that you are not using cloud. But once you complete your program and you ship it to the next team, they are the ones who are going to deploy it on the cloud. That's the end goal, to make it available to
right.
the public, make it reliable, to make it available. So that's how cloud comes into picture. Now we don't want no one wants you to be an expert in cloud. No one wants to be a you can be an expert in cloud. That's what I aimed for. But learning something about cloud is important, because unless you don't do that, you won't know what will be the end goal of what you are making. Once you understand that this is where your software is going to be made or shipped or processed or collected, then you can make it better. You can make it more optimized and more available. So that's why you need to learn cloud, because that's the future. You might think
Absolutely.
that maybe you might think that machine learning is the future. I would say yes, data scientist is the future, yes. But where would all those go without cloud? They have to be centralized on the cloud. So
You're
yes,
right.
future might be changing, but the future for cloud will be always constant.
Exactly. I think the next question, right? So, why AWS? Like, there are multiple cloud platforms out there. So, Harshad is also asking the same question, right? So, this is like the most frequent question I am asked, right? I actually teach both, all three, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. And one of the most frequently asked questions for me is which cloud platform are beginners to start with? Yeah,
Yes.
I know you are from AWS, so your answer will be tuned towards AWS, but I would want to hear it from you.
Okay. So although I am from AWS, the previous company I used to work at was Microsoft, and I was an Azure
Okay,
developer. Yeah.
awesome.
So
That's cool.
I just left Microsoft 4 months ago. And I would not say that AWS is better than Azure or Azure is better than AWS, because I have used
Hmm.
both the platforms. And when I was in college, I was also a GDSC lead. So I used to learn Google Cloud left and right.
Okay,
I have
interesting.
experience with all three clouds. From a student's perspective, I can say that why do you have to worry about which cloud is the best? What you have to worry about is that you know beginner steps to all the three cloud platform. I mean, not just three, there are other cloud platforms as well. But because I see that these might be the three popular cloud platforms, you should have information about cloud computing. How to
Hmm.
implement that will be company specific. Maybe you can go ahead and try it out on AWS. You can try it out on Azure or GCP. It's up to you. So you should not bifurcate that maybe this is very good and this is very bad. Don't worry about it, what is good and what is not good. Just focus on that you should know all the platforms, because you're not someone who is a professional and your boss has asked you that you have to only make projects. Your professor will come and ask you, no one is allowed to use AWS, everyone will use Azure or only GCP. So that is not something that you have to worry about. You can go ahead and do an AZ900, learn about Microsoft's cloud with doing AZ900, and you can do cloud practitioner and be good in AWS as well. And there is a GCP beginner certification as well. I think it's
Yeah, it's called
associate
the Google
certificate.
Cloud Digital Leader. Google Cloud Digital
Okay,
Leader.
okay, yes, that one, digital leader. So you can have all three certifications. I mean, why not do it when you can? I
Exactly.
I I used to do everything that I could. So I was a Microsoft Learn ambassador. I was an AWS Educate Cloud ambassador. I was a GDSC lead. So I did not bifurcate between why should I focus on one platform. Why not do all of them when you have the time, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, that's my answer.
Great answer. I think what you are saying is the time you spend on choosing the cloud platform is not really useful. That's not the important
Yes,
question. The important thing
yes,
is to pick up something and start learning it. So it does not matter
yes,
whether you're going for AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. But because we are here for AWS, let's say start with AWS. And also,
yes,
AWS serves as a good default because AWS is the one which is most popular out there right now, right? So we don't
yes.
know how it would be a few years down the line, but right now,
Yeah.
it like AWS is the most popular one. Thanks a lot,
Yes.
Mustafa, for that answer. I think there is a very interesting question in the chat. I'll add it to the broadcast. The question Raju is asking is what is better than AWS? I guess it's somewhere related to our discussion uh, earlier on which cloud platform, what is better than AWS. Mustafa, do you want to take it?
Well, I would say that it is completely not your decision to make what is better. Because
Yeah,
once you are in a position to take that call, you will be only in that position when you know all the clouds. So even I am not in a position to decide which cloud is better. Every cloud is good. So it's very application specific. So for example,
exactly.
someone likes apple, someone like oranges. But you can't compare apple and oranges because application is different. Maybe people use oranges for juice and apple for just eating. So the application is different. So how you
Absolutely.
decide to implement decides what is better. Well, I am from
Absolutely.
AWS and I have been using AWS, and I can say that I was very easily absorbed into the AWS platform as a developer. So
Hmm.
yes, there's that. and because we want that same absorption for students as well, that's why we have brought the cloud clubs program, so that the absorption in the students is fast as well, just like how it is for the developers.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think, yeah, I think the question is not really which one is better. I think it's all about choosing one and going for it, right? I think,
Choose one
as Mustafa is
and
saying,
become better.
please go ahead.
I'm saying that choose one and then become better instead of choosing
Yeah,
what is better.
exactly, exactly. So it's not a question of which cloud is better. It's a question of how good you are at a specific cloud. I think that's the most important question that you need to be thinking about. And also, the thing I love about the AWS Cloud Club program is the fact that it helps you to get good at two things, right? One is cloud. Cloud, I mean, getting good at AWS is very, very important. The other important factor when you are in college is leadership skills, right? Once you are in the industry, it's very, very important not just to do your job, but also to display a few leadership skills. Do you want to elaborate on that, Mustafa?
Well, this is a question that I ask. What do you want to be in future? Do you always want to be a developer, or do you always want to be a support engineer? Or because people have different career perspectives, career prospects, and you might think that I want to move to a leadership role in future, but then you need to have those qualities, right? And no one is born as a leader. Everyone
Exactly.
is born equal. So you
Exactly.
have to grab opportunities where you can hone these skills. So if you want to be a teacher, you have to hone your skill as a teacher. You can't just wake up one day and say I want to become a teacher. No, you might have done something in your life that has qualified you as a teacher, and that's why you are passionate about teaching right now. So it depends what you want to become. Maybe someone is very good in sales and marketing. So my father is a businessman. If I tell him that go ahead and do cloud, he won't do that. But because he's good in sales and marketing, he might do sales and marketing of cloud, but not
Exactly.
deployment of cloud. So if you want to be a leader in future, then this platform is for you, because we are looking for leaders who will lead these communities. So yes, that's how you become a leader.
Absolutely. I think that's one area which I was not able to focus a lot earlier, right? So if you look at my career, I was thinking programming is the end all and be all, right? I want to be a great programmer, but I did not realize the fact that if I was able to add some kind of leadership skills in addition to my programming skills, my technology skills, right? That would be a great value add, right? I think that's one of the biggest pulls for me to participate in any of these communities, right? By participating in the community, by leading a community, you get the opportunity to not only learn technically, but also you get to know a little bit of leadership and management skills. And those are really, really useful as you go further. And also, a lot of
Yes.
companies really appreciate those kind of skills as well. Thanks a
Yes.
lot, Mustafa. Yeah, I think that's awesome. And in case if anybody has questions on the Cloud Club program and they would want to reach out to you, where can they reach out to you? How can they connect with you at a later point in time?
Yes. I'm sending you my Twitter.
Okay,
Twitter is the best platform to communicate right now. And apart from that,
okay,
LinkedIn is also good. So
sure. What's your Twitter ID? If you actually tell me, I'll actually put it on the screen.
it's Mustafa Saifee underscore. Um, I'll
Okay.
try to put it if it
Yeah, you
works.
okay. You can ping it to me in the chat, and I can actually bring it up here if that's possible.
Okay, I think there's a guest chat, and I'll post it there.
Yeah.
Can you see yeah? So that's my Twitter, and I'm searching for my LinkedIn. Yeah, there it is. So you can always follow me on LinkedIn. But pinging on LinkedIn is difficult because the platform is difficult sometimes to let people directly message.
Okay.
So
Like what I'll do is I'll get these details and I'll add it in the description of the video so that you can all
yes,
get them out.
yes,
And
that would be awesome.
yeah, and Sandeep is actually saying he got $25 credit for completing some survey for AWS, and now this course, perfect combo to start my AWS journey. Thanks, Rangakanam and Mustafa. Actually, what I've
Well,
done, Mustafa, is actually I added in the description a link to a course and I added in a free coupon to that course. It's a course for AWS Cloud Practitioner. So if somebody wants to
Wow.
start their AWS journey, you can use that to get started. And looks like there's a free credit as well.
Yes. And apart from that, there's something that we are going to bring as well. Now we are going to launch this, that once you attend any session from any captain, right? Maybe you did not become a cloud club captain, maybe you did not want to become a cloud club captain, or maybe you wanted to become and you did not get selected. You don't have to be disappointed. The applications open up frequently and will be soon. Even if we close it on tomorrow, 19th February, it will open up soon. So don't worry about it. Instead, focus on the areas that why would we have not selected you. I cannot give you that answer, but maybe the captains who got selected can give you that answer. So communicate with them, attend their sessions, events, build up your portfolio, and then again apply to become a captain. But this is just a suggestion, that once you attend any captain sessions or any workshops or anything that is hosted by a captain, be assured that you will get credits. So we have the same survey thing that Sandeep has said, that you did some survey and you got $25 credits. So that is something that we are also going to offer in every session that a captain hosts, not just some AWS employee, but every captain. So even if you like do 5 events or you attend 5 events in 1 month, you can easily multiply those 25 by 5 and have all those $125 credits. So yes,
Yeah.
there's that.
Absolutely. I think cloud credits are really, really, really useful, especially at a learning stage, especially when you are in college. Because when you are working, probably you would have a little bit of money in hand. But when you are in college, money is something which you are very much short of. So it's like very, very useful to have cloud credits. And also, yeah, it's very, very important to play with it. It's very important to get hands on with the cloud platform. And these cloud credits are very useful for that. Okay. Ajay has a interest. Like I've put Mustafa's Twitter on the screen right now, so you can see his Twitter ID on the screen. I'll bring up one more question. This is from Ajay. Ajay is asking Mustafa, what would you suggest to either go for development or as a cloud engineer? You have worked in Microsoft as a developer. What motivated you? Uh, yeah, that's the question.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I worked in the developer unit of Microsoft Azure. So I was an Azure Pass developer. But I used to work as at the capacity of a support engineer. I used to support all the developer tools and all the scripting and all the ARM templates, Bicep, and we had these products at Microsoft. So I used to work on those developer technologies. Now, even if that was a support role, I needed the knowledge to become a developer, because the tools that I was working on were the developer tools. My team itself is called the developer pod. Used to call it developer pod. So that's, I think that is my personal biased opinion. But to become anything you want, you should have the knowledge of what a developer does, and you should be one of the developers. Sure, I don't want you to be a super duper expert in comparative coding and data structure and algorithms. That's okay. Even if you are medium at it, maybe I would call myself as low scoring person in data structure and algorithms. But development is different. Software development is different. It requires a different kind of mindset. So you should have some knowledge about that. So development, yes, no matter if it is a cloud engineer, network engineer, support engineer, or solution architect, a little knowledge of development would not hurt you. So go for development, learn something concrete, maybe just one language, just JavaScript or just Python or whatever you want, and then move on to cloud. I took Python. Python was my favorite language, always, even today. So I always used to focus on Python. It was difficult to integrate Python with cloud, but still, if my language of focus was Python, but I used to love cloud technologies, but I never discouraged myself that I learn Python, how does it connect to cloud? It doesn't matter. The development experience is important. So yes, go for that.
Yeah, sure. Like I think absolutely right. Whenever you get into the cloud, I think having some kind of programming experience does really, really help. Right? It does not have to be. You don't need to be an expert at data structures, algorithms, but having some programming experience, that's always useful. Um, Mustafa, like we'll end this session by. I have a very interesting thing for you, right? So, Chat GPT. I think that's the thing which almost everybody is talking about right now, right? Have you
Yes.
used Chat GPT, and what do you think of it?
Well, I would like to issue a warning over here about ChatGPT. First, Once you
Uh-huh.
fill your Cloud Club's Captain's application, don't even use a single line of AI generated content on ChatGPT. I would highly encourage against it and no AI involvement, because me, my team, all the people who are vetting the applications, we are experienced in this field, and we can easily pick out applications who have used AI and who have used a shortcut to do that. So this is where I take a stance that I don't encourage ChatGPT as a student. That is not something that should be your first choice of um, first choice of your tool that you want to use as a student, because that reduces every all the efforts that traditionally comes in your life. So, well, yeah, ChatGPT versus Bard, I would say no AI tools at all. You have to hone your skills. You might think that I just ask a question and ChatGPT gives me all the answers. Well, I can promise you something, that if you take out your whole engineering career using ChatGPT, then it will be the most difficult thing for you to get a job. So first, improve yourself, make yourself a a good developer. If you start asking ChatGPT for all the developer codes and all the snippets, then what would you do? What would you make if you use everything for ChatGPT, even for a simple documentation? You will lose the touch to write in good grammar. You will lose the touch of making mistakes. You will lose the touch of knowing that this spelling is wrong that I have written and how do I correct it, because you always put everything in ChatGPT and ChatGPT made it for you. What
Yeah,
will you do when you're in live interviews? So yes,
absolutely.
ChatGPT is something I will never encourage for students. Even for students and even for professionals, I don't encourage it. It is something that should be like your 10th number priority of tools when you use or when you're doing your job or as a student.
Okay, okay, that's a very interesting opinion. Actually, like I mean, I think we are over here. We are talking in general about generative AI tools, right? So today it's ChatGPT, maybe tomorrow it's Bard. Uh, like there are going to be a lot of versions of these coming up, right? I'm sure there would be much better tools than ChatGPT coming in. But the question
Yes,
always is like, how helpful is generative AI, and what's the best use case of it? And it's like any new tool, uh, we need to work it out over a period of time to find out what's the right use case for that and where you should not be using it. And right now, I think doing college essays, doing writing profiles using it, filling up applications using it, probably that's not the best use case for it, because people are looking at it very hard, right? So there are people who can recognize if something is written by AI. I mean, there are things that you can see and find out if something is
right.
written by AI, and you don't want to do that. But I like, but I mean, Mustafa, are there any use cases that you are using it for right now? I mean, I mean, there are a lot of warnings, right? There are a number of reasons why you should not use it, but are there any specific places where you are using it right
I'll be honest. Once ChatGPT was launched, I was actually very excited about it. Honestly, because just imagine that you ask a question and your work is being done by, done for you, and you don't even have to think about it. But I have this concept in mind. Okay, maybe I'm biased about it, and maybe this is just my own opinion. But
now?
mind is like training your mind is like training your body. You go to the gym to train your body, but let's say that you hire someone else to do gym on your behalf for your body. That won't work, right? So what you need to do is do it yourself. That's how gym works. Similarly, brain gym. If you don't use your mind and let the AI do everything for you, let's take an example. I am a student. I am in my second year and I want to write a project report. I let ChatGPT write all the project report for me. Then my mind is never developed for that. Okay. Now, when if I'm faced in a real life scenario, I don't know how to make a project report. Okay, it's time to make a research paper. You use ChatGPT to write a research paper. Again, you divided your mind to have that exercise of rubbing your mind to write a research paper. It's a very rigorous task. Your brain does a lot of work while writing a research paper. It's very difficult, but you let someone else do it. Coding develops your logical thinking. I take a stand over there that it does. So if you're coding, your logical skills and your logical thinking develops. But what did you do in your engineering career or as an engineer? You let ChatGPT write all of that for you. So your brain was dormant. That's how humanity, that's how evolution is. If you don't let your brain work, then I guess it will disappear, just how the tails in monkeys disappeared, and then we became like humans. So you don't want your brain to disappear, right? You want it to work hard and become sharper. If you don't, if you
Okay.
don't do maths every day, if you don't do maths every day, you will forget it. Similarly, if you let
Absolutely.
ChatGPT do it for you, you will forget things.
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
my that was my opinion once I used ChatGPT for the first 2 days, and that's when I decided, no matter how much emergency is there, I would do a normal Google search or a Bing search, okay, and research about it instead of using ChatGPT to get the answer directly put in front of me. So yes, that's my opinion about it.
Okay, that's one side of the story, I guess. Um, for me, actually, I found ChatGPT really, really useful. Right, a lot of things that I do in my day-to-day life. I mean, a lot of things I have to actually involve other people to get it done. Because I'm not a great writer, right? Right. I have great ideas, but I have no idea. I mean, I'm not a great writer in putting them across in the best possible way. And that's not a skill I developed in last 20 years, and I don't think it's going to change in the next 20 years. So
Yes,
what I do now is actually I put the ideas out to ChatGPT, and it helps me to put them in a really, really good way. I mean, that's just one of the
yes,
use cases that I'm using it for today. I mean, yeah, it's always going to be a dichotomy. I don't think there is a perfect answer to this. There will be different arguments on all sides, but I completely agree. At college, I would rather not use it at all. uh, because I would rather do things on my own as much as possible. Uh, but it's always an interesting question, like where to use it, where not to use it, where it would stop you from developing, where it would be making you productive. These are all debatable questions, and I think we will find answers to them over a period of next few years. Thanks a lot, Mustafa,
yes.
for being here, for taking the time and answering all the questions. Any concluding remarks you want to leave the learners with?
Well, I would say that the time is very less and the applications are closing tomorrow. So go ahead and apply to become a captain. And I highly encourage all the females and girls out there to not be afraid to become a leader, because we have data and I see data, and I will talk about India. Women empowerment is something that everyone talks about, but if girls and female and women don't take charge, if you don't take charge to become a captain, to become a leader, then how will you bring women empowerment and women leadership in the society? So I would say, especially this message is for all the girls and women to not be afraid of to not be afraid to become a leader and then experience the fun of doing women empowerment. So yes, that's my
Uh,
suggestion.
Absolutely. Go for it. Become a leader. Thanks a lot, Mustafa. Very, very happy to have you here. And hopefully, we will do a lot more sessions together. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Ranga, for giving me this platform and giving me the time to speak with the audience and let them know my views and all about cloud clubs. So yes, thank you for that. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for attending.